Welcome to the channel. I'm Glaff. That stands for good luck and have fun, if you haven't noticed yet. We're going to do continuing with the Commander series. We are on number 14 of 36. Today we're doing Valki, God of Lies, modal card on the back. We have Tibalt, Cosmic Imposter. Not going to be playing Valki very much. I assume maybe there's some room in this deck to put some duress or things to look in the hand, and then if we have a good creature that we just need to take from them and use, we may do that. He can enter the battlefield, look in their hand, get a creature, take that creature, and he can become a copy it if you pay the converted mana cost. Now, they just get it back if they kill him or kill the creature that he turns into. So that doesn't seem like the best use of him, considering then Tibalt would be 9 to cast. Tibalt is amazing. He's one of the best planeswalkers out there right now. When he enters the battlefield, get an emblem. You can play exiled cards cards exiled with Tibalt. Spend mana as though it were colorless, any color to cast those spells. So as soon as he hits the board, you get the emblem, and every time you exile something with him, you can take it. So say you put him down, uses -3, exile target artifact or creature, you get to play that. You get that card from now until forever. If he dies, that card is still there for you to cast. Of course, if it dies, it'll go back to their graveyard. Any artifact or creature, though, you can at +2 him to exile the top card of each player's library. Again, playing them until the end of the game, anytime you want. Or -8, which is pretty easy to get up to. He only has to stick for a few turns to get there. Exile all cards from all graveyards and add 3 red mana. Of course, it's just 3 mana. It doesn't matter. You get 3 red mana, and so that's nice for our deck. But 3 mana of any type works for all the cards that you could cast from the graveyards. So we've got lots of ways to put some good creatures in graveyards. We've got lots of ways to take those creatures and sacrifice them. This is mostly a control deck. We're going to be forcing some discard here and there. We're going to ramp up just a little bit and kill everything we can, take everything we can, and sacrifice it. It's a pretty simple deck. Basically, you're just going to want to have them play a card, play a creature, gain control of it, sacrifice it, right? Just that basic Rakdos that we've all seen so much. Once we get up to having enough mana to cast Tibalt, then the game changes, but it's your basic Rakdos control until then. This deck, I think, probably suffers from like a control deck, because if they don't have creatures out, our game isn't happening. We don't have any way to go after certain cards. Kiora Best, the Sea God, puts out a hexproof. So any hexproof creatures we're going to have trouble with. We can try to get rid of all the, as many as we can. If they've got 2 or 3 creatures and a big Kiora or something, we can take them, sacrifice them, kill them, and then make them sacrifice it with Rankle or something like that. We do have options. We can play a little bit aggressively with certain cards in the deck, trying to, this grows every turn. You can sacrifice their creatures with it. We've got ways to bring stuff back from the graveyard. It's a pretty interesting one. I really like Tibalt. He's probably my favorite new planeswalker, power-wise. I have some other favorites that for play style and general game effect, but just by himself on the board, really good stuff. So let's get into it. Rada, getting very common with Kimmy. All right, not bad, not bad. Can take that. It'll get us through the first few turns. I'm going to say let's just go ahead and foretell this for now. First of all, we want to cast it as a foretell that Scry 2 is really good. Second of all, they're probably not casting anything. We don't need 3 mana this turn, and this is definitely turning into a land, so let's just put it down now. Could Valki there. I don't think it's worthless to use the upper face of this card. It's just hard to even want to because generally Tibalt is just so much stronger. We don't have any other creatures on the board. That's one thing that makes this difficult to start with. Generally, I'm just going to wait for it a little bit. Put out our Witch's Cauldron. Get ready to sacrifice one of their creatures for them. Don't have quite enough to take it and sack it with that, so let's make them play it again so we can scry, and then that'll take up most of their next turn. We can start drawing cards. Suppose we can put that down and draw the forest, or draw the the mountain. I know what cards say. No, I still want to play this right now. Hopefully we can keep it for just a turn. They don't immediately just kill it. Immersturm Predator really likes a deck full of creatures, so okay. That's a little better. Here we go. At least he's only going to get one big plant out of it. Some good landfall. Well, at least we got rid of, what's his name? Phylath. That would have been rough. 4, 5, 6. One away from him, but really need to get the board wipe going. I'm seeing here. Crow in War. So we're up to the point where we can accro in the Beanstalk Giant next turn. Heartless Act something, accro in the Beanstalk Giant and sacrifice it to draw a card. Hopefully put it on something that's already okay. Heartless Act does not deal well with counters, but neither does a Crow in War deal well with these 0/1s. Okay. Can you put something? So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He can fling the giant in our as a response to us. Using something like a crowing war, so that's not going to be helpful. They might want to put Rada down if they're trying to draw cards. So either one, we just need a creature to play with. Is Rada better to Heartless Act or a Crowing War? I think we'll just Heartless Act right now. They might end up flinging her at us, but I don't know. I would save it for the Beanstalk Giant personally. We'll see though. Up to 7, which they do have. Gem Razor for the tome. Okay. Ouch. Wow. And now that that's all tapped, that makes it a lot more difficult to. Because we'd like to take the Gem Razor and then sack it, but block with it first, since we have a little bit of time. Let's see. You get 1 life and draw a card for 6 mana. That's all we have. Unfortunate, huh? Okay, this is obviously a lost game. I'm still going to try to find the correct path through it, but they're probably not mutating again. At least it dies. Okay, we don't want to use it yet. Let's Bone Crush the Lotus Serpent for now, so that they can't just get a bunch of land next turn, or a bunch of extra mana next turn. Yep. Oh well. Good game. Nothing to do there. I mean, I suppose I could have taken the 0/1 and blocked one of the 4/4s, but then they still had a 4/5 coming in and the other one. They just didn't look like there was any other way, or anyway. Okay, Turgid. Interesting. Be sacrificing their creatures and then giving them back. I think we need to keep Turgid off the board. In this situation, don't think we can keep. This is tempting to force them to discard a little bit. I don't think this is a good hand. There are things I really like about it, though. Maybe it's worth trying. Don't need the Witch's Cauldron down right away, so let's push to get some extra cards first instead. Might need the life if they go straight for the Lantern too. Okay. What do they want? They want... Well, I suppose we're the furthest from using this, though it could turn into a land. Probably come into something else that we can use to sacrifice. Witch's Cauldron is one of the more expensive ways to do it in the deck, since it has the recurring cost. Maybe going to regret that. We'll see. Lots of snow. Should we start there? I don't think that's a good idea. Let's just crush some bones. If we're going to do it, we'll do it on their turn. Rather take the point of damage in Maze Mind. else? Okay. Plenty of land. It's tempting to put Valki out. The benefit being if he puts it out and forces us to sacrifice it, at least he doesn't get the Valki. We get to look at his hand. Let's just force him to discard. I prefer to kick this, but we're not going to make it that far. It's a little bit early to be forcing discard because they've still got a bunch of stuff in their hand that they don't necessarily need. Maybe they'd be casting. Maybe they'd be casting some of the smaller stuff that they don't care about as much. But it's maybe that's a good choice. It's making them think. Probably some stuff that they don't want to get rid of. No, that's not that great. Why that was such a hard choice. Okay, 5 mana next turn. We need like 7 to be able to use Song-Mad Treachery. So I'm not sure that that's the best card. I do like Valki or Tibalt in this game. One of the reasons I haven't even considered casting Valki yet. So that's gonna... they don't have any mana rocks down. They're only going to be able to untap it once a turn. Excuse me, so I don't think that this is too bad right now. But it adds up really fast. I'm sure that they have a way to kill that, so let's get something out to pressure them, give them something to kill with whatever removal they have in hand, and then if they don't have the removal, we at least get to sacrifice it to this, rather than let this die. Go in with both for a couple turns, ideally. Take the damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, maybe 7 for Valki, for Tibalt. Let's get this going. I suppose gaining the 4 life is much better than sacrificing it. I'm going to be using all of the mana for a little bit, so... Be nice to use that, but... maybe this isn't the proper thing in the deck right now. Okay. They probably kill this too. Just going to keep putting out threats until we're up to the point... Oh, did I... Okay, trying to concentrate. I hope you can. Really need this card. Okay, so they have a stop on the upkeep. Don't see why, but okay. fine. Yeah, this happens with this deck too often. I think that it needs to be reworked. I'm not sure that Sacrifice is the proper vehicle for Tibalt. Got all the black we need to be able to cast this. 3. Be nice to get 4 before we drop it. I think that that's the play. Let's just draw a card. Perfect. And it's possible that we want to even grab this rather than the Immerstern Predator. Some of the plays in this deck are pretty mana intense. Draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards. Looks like they're very light on creatures, so it's possible that we don't even need those right now. 4. So hopefully we get to play this next turn. Make us sacrifice the Simulacrum. That's okay. Not as good in this particular deck. Let's go ahead and grab definitely that. You know, we have to put out threats that they want to kill. But then again, this is such a good sacrifice. The land too. Thins the deck, draws a card. We're not going to be able to use the indestructibility for that. Tough matchup. Okay, Turgrid. Got infinite mana for your lantern. You're going to be able to untap 1, 2, 3 times a turn, so that's 3. 4 times 3 is 12 damage per turn. If we have to take all of the damage. I don't think we can handle that. So they only get a little bit of damage this turn. Let's lose 3 life so that we can rankle and then sacrifice the Solemn there. But they probably just, I mean, obviously, no? Okay. Great. Do they have a card? Yes. I think we can discard that pretty safely. So sack a creature, discard a card. Don't want them drawing anything. I do want to get rid of their card. Sacrifice that. Sacrifice that. Krillin War probably doesn't do anything. Oh, is that Foretold? Oh god. Didn't even see the stuff around it. I wonder what it is. All the black Foretell cards. There's like 4 or 5 of them. What would be in this deck? Guess we'll see. I think 7 damage is better this turn if we can live through it. Puts them on a 2-turn clock, but we are pretty far beyond that. We'll have to just cast a Krillin War next turn. Maybe be better to put out Valki a few times in a row at this point and just keep sacrificing it. Looks like he wants to cast something. Okay. Common War is looking pretty good for that. Yeah, blood on the snow. Okay. Not ideal. Is that, what, one more turn now? Okay. What can we do here? Let's take this. We can at least sack their worm. Gotta get Tibalt down eventually. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we do have the 9. Okay. What a jerk. Okay. There's obviously no way out of this at this point. If we could, maybe forcing Tibalt earlier so we could get the card advantage. It really looked like they would have an answer for him, but they didn't. Let's see, what else could we have done? I mean, blood on the snow, but they got that much later. And they definitely wanted to be using it for creatures. So yeah, there was 1 or 2 turns where we could have gone with Tibalt. Maybe that would have been the way out of this. I'm not sure. And it looks like they're not. Maybe they weren't trying to be rude. Maybe they really were saying good game. I'll just put that down as a land. Right? Get rid of it because I'm dead. Okay, they actually meant good game. Looks like. Suppose if we let's see, if we put down Valki, now they could still untap 2 more times, so it doesn't matter. That's what I thought. That's why I didn't put him down, but I should have anyway. You never know. You never know what happens. Maybe they make a mistake. Gotta give your opponents the chance to make mistakes. Okay, Tibalt versus Tibalt. Let's see what they're doing. Maybe they've got a better wrapper for Tibalt. I'm not liking this one so far today. It's worked out for me before. I did keep a hand in that last game that I didn't really like, so maybe this is better. Plenty. Let's see, 4, 5 mana, so we could theoretically put that down with the kicker. Against Tibalt, maybe being this slow is okay. Probably doesn't turn into anything except the land. Kind of want to hold this back for later just in case. We'll see. Sure. After that last game, I'm more tempted to cast Valki. Not that they wouldn't have just killed him. See, they're way ahead already. Suppose we want to give them... And this is really no better than a land in our situation. That's much more difficult to get out, so I suppose starting there is okay. Don't want to do that. Really don't want to feed the swarm. So they're showing us discard so far. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, why? Oh, it's a sorcery. I always forget that. Okay. I mean, I suppose let's just put this out without the kicker. Be 2 more turns and then take our whole turn, but we probably want to be playing Blood on the Snow. Don't want to give them any more cards. Especially in the mirror match. Looks like they're not playing the same type of deck. It's more of a, what, aggro? Aggro Tibalt? So I don't trust that anymore. Then how do you get them out so fast? Now the Blood on the Snow has to go toward Planeswalkers. Okay, this is better. Good draw. But he's got the land to just put him back down. How can we not do that? Why is that a problem here? I suppose putting this down last turn would have been okay, but at least we can get him out now. Let's try it. Do we want the acquisitions expert? I don't think so. Not that badly, at least. What a pain. I mean, hopefully you're seeing this is partly just bad luck. I mean, damn. Let's see. 6 mana. Pretty good. Let me get him at 4. Let him draw a card next turn, or hit him with the destroy this with the inscription rune, and then let's see if we have 1 more mana. We could take it with the Akroan War and then Demon's Disciple. So we've got lots of answers. Which one is the right one? I don't want to give him any more cards. This is so much better to... Let's just use this now as a discard. Wait until next turn. Stop them from hitting us. They still get the 2 cards. Then we can Blood on the Snow, whatever they do put out. Or Storm's Wrath if that's a better thing to do. Okay. We lose the view of our top card. It's worrisome. No. Shuffled the deck. Why did we lose? What made us lose the top card? There. What was the shuffle from? That's. This doesn't shuffle. This doesn't shuffle. Oh, they take the Storm's Wrath? Why? Exile. What am I thinking? Obviously. God damn. Excuse me. That's frustrating. This just gets a creature or an artifact. Suppose it starts out. Okay. Okay. Give him another card. I know this deck can win. I'm pretty sure that I've won more games than I've lost with it. It's not perfect. This is kind of the deck that's going around for Tibalt. So I'm surprised it's doing this badly. Again, you know, maybe it's just luck because, like I said, it's working much better for me than this, at least. Suppose probably playing that first would have been better, obviously. Start it out. Read Akiri. So usually I'm playing against decks with creatures, and usually this deck works just fine. You grab some stuff like this to take their creatures, you grab some stuff like this to kill their creatures. Simple. But this is not working simply at all, is it? It's making me think we need a new wrapper. I mean, I was already thinking that, but still, like, seems ridiculous. Every deck has every little answer. Maybe this will be one of those playing Tibalt the wrong way type of decks. No, I'll take it next turn and block it. We can destroy the equipment on it with Shackles of Treachery. So I'm liking that play pretty much. And then sacrifice it with the Immerstern Predator that he's looking at very intently and about to kill. Okay. Sure. Maybe we could have taken that. I'm not sure. We can take one more thing. Can't kill them all now. Oh, I would have rather taken that maul from him, though. With the shackles. This is fine. Let's see, that leaves us with 4 mana, able to... Can't put Croxa down. We need 5 other cards, so that's going to be a while. Could just play the Bone Crusher out. Looks like most of their creatures are beyond. Do those stay? No. Need to just play them out right now, or lose the mana, I do believe. And we can sack the Charger and do 3 to the War Leader. Okay. I mean, that's the kind of deck we need to see to be able to play this deck. So maybe it's just really weak against certain deck types. I thought that I would have done better in that mirror match since that was more of a creature deck, but okay, keep going a little bit more, see if the deck can redeem itself a little bit. Toski. We are sacrificing, so the indestructibility doesn't do as much, so that's good. Got the shackles, exile, sacrifice. All of that looks pretty good with Toski. Now we'll just have to see, is this a wide Toski deck or a tall Toski deck? If it's a tall Toski deck, then we're in good shape. I think this situation does want lots of steal a creature type things. We're a little bit light on sacrificing right now, so it's tempting to dig, but since I've got the 4 mana, I think this is okay right now. We're a little bit behind. He's gonna go wide, unfortunately. We have to stop this as soon as possible. This is one of the cards from the deck that we really don't want to see. All those extra little elves with the board like we have are gonna hurt a lot. So, might just be worth poisoning the cup right now before he can drop a single other elf. Skip the scry. It's quite possible we have to get to Ugin to win this. Maybe an extinction event. Oops. Okay. Interesting. Let's see. Can we get the Skyclave Relic out this turn? Or do we need to kill something? Oops, huh? Alright. Let's see if we can oops them. Looking a little bit more closely at killing the Crystalline Giant. I'm waiting for Toski, but I'm not sure. Either way, this is a difficult way to move forward. Only 1 mana away from putting down Valki or Tibalt, but he just kills it. So we can use the larger one and then and sacrifice for some cards. Okay, that's pretty nice, actually. Pretty sure that's the target. Maybe he's stuck though. I think we can eat to extinction. On the Toski, though he does draw 3 card or 2 card. No. Oh, he'll only draw 1 card unless he can. Okay. Now he's drawing 3 cards. And that's unfortunate. Let's just mute you. You're very distracting and annoying. I suppose that's what they want, isn't it? 6, 7. Do we have anything in the graveyard? No. Discards 2 cards. Destroy a creature. 3 or less. Eat to extinction on Toski. Make him recast it. Still taking 5 damage next turn. Let's do this and put out Valki. That could help a little bit. Maybe I won't block with him. I want that out. I've got plenty of land to play it too. Must have just drawn all that last turn. Blizzard Brawl. Get it back. One life left, unless they... Oh. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, Ginger Brute. That was unexpected. Oops. I don't know why people come into a game and think that making other people have less fun in their game is fun. The internet is stupid. People are fools. I've been playing games for many, many years, and people have problems. I like this hand. Oh, they're just going to disassemble it, apparently. Don't need the land right now. Let's gain a life. This again. So he's got plenty he can do about that, unfortunately. At least we can oven our creature in response, waste one of their cards. And again, I suppose so. Suppose that I didn't see a lot of enchantments out of the last turn grid. The only difference is we're not paying the mana for it. Creature or a planeswalker. Right. Very little in this deck that kills artifacts. I normally wouldn't kill the Lantern because it's not that hard to put back down, but in this situation where they're a little bit short on mana, that's what I'm looking to do. Not seeing any other creatures, so let's go ahead and get that down so we can take something out of the hand. That's fine. Took something out of their hand and did the damage. I think we'll be taking the damage this turn. Yeah, I think this deck, it needs more creatures. It needs something. So unfortunately, we're up to 11 to be able to cast Tibalt. So that's not happening this game. They're not playing any creatures. Do we discard? Let's hold off on discarding till that's the last play. Not gaining anything of value. Did you color? Take the color off. We're still ahead in life for the moment. Suppose they're waiting to use the Soul Shatter on something more interesting. I'm in no hurry to get back my Planeswalker, though, so that's fine by me. Eventually we can draw that card. It would just be a land anyway, apparently, so... Soul Shatter is an instant, yeah. I think if I were in their position, I'd be using that, but maybe they just prefer to do the 3 damage. Well, drawing all land and going, I mean, this is a bad matchup I've seen so far, right? So I suppose we just eat it. They can Soul Shatter, they can Village Rites. Now we don't get to look at the card, which I was enjoying the idea of actually seeing the top card for once and getting rid of a land, but discard, sure. horrible. Okay. Give them back their simulacrum, getting one more land, putting them up to whatever, giving them a blocker. I don't think so. Theoretically, we could still pull this off. It's quite unlikely. I think taking the time out to make the banner... Oh no, that's okay, because they still can untap once, and that's all they'd be able to do. We'll go down to 2. Maybe we can discard the extinction event. We can discard the swamp. Can Ugin. Just put out Valki again. It's not quite enough, but not too bad. Still get to use it for the food. Either lose 3 life or sack for 3. Might as well not spend the mana. Cast it for 6 next turn. Memory theft on the Ugin. Okay. Well, there goes that idea. Suppose we'll want to use Castle Lochthwain. They've got their own Ugin. Okay, back for the wrap-up. Tibalt, you were the biggest disappointment out of any deck I've done so far, and I don't think it should be that way. I saw some other people playing Tibalt in different ways. Maybe this isn't the right deck. We'll revisit once I figure out how it should be played. I'm going to go look at some lists in the next couple weeks and come back. After I'm done with the Commander series, there are a few people that were awesome that I want to make better, and a few people that just didn't work out. And I was playing this deck earlier, and it's really good in a lot of situations, but it needs to be better against control. So I don't think that it, and I guess maybe it's just this meta. The matchup system is putting Tibalt against mostly controlled Hex right now, it looks like. So maybe it's just bad in that way. We'll see. I'm gonna look at it. Maybe this is a deck you play when you're facing more aggro. Maybe that's not even the problem. Maybe the matchmaking system is just putting this version of this deck up against the wrong type of decks that we just don't have a chance against. You saw that it worked pretty well against a certain type of deck, one certain type of deck, but then really bad against everything else. I don't think this is always all bad, but it needs to be changed. So my thought is, don't play this. Wait until my next try, and we'll come up with something better. All right. If you do like the Sakdos, go for it. Make it better. Show me what you did, and leave a comment with your deck list. I would love some help making him better. I think it is. I think this deck isn't as bad as the showing today, even as it is. But let's make it work. All right. Good luck. Have fun.